Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Balava Girivaradhari Gopijana Balava Girivaradhari Gopijana Balava Girivaradhari Gopijana Balava Girivaradhari Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotarashata Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotarashata Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Itai Gaura Premanandi. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to Shishi Guru and Shigoranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Summon Bonum, Chapter 11, the Childhood Pastimes of Lord Krishna, text number 54. Srutva tat vishmita gopa gopyaschati priyadritaha pretyagatam ibokshukya aikashanta trishekshana aikshanta trishitekshana Shrutva tad vishmita gopa gopyaschati priyadritaha pratyagatam ivokshukyat aikshanta trishitekshanaha Shrutva tad vishmita gopa gopyaschati priyadritaha pratyagatam ivokshukyat aikshanta trishitekshana Shrutva tat vishmita gopa gopyaschati priyadritaha pretyagatan ibotsukya aikshanta trishitekshanaha. Shrutva, after hearing that these incidents, Vishmita, being struck with wonder, Gopaha, the cowherd man, Gopyaha, Gopyaha cha, and their respective wives, Ati Priya Adritaha, received the news with great transcendental pleasure. Pretya agatam iva, though that it was as if the boys thought that it was as if the boys had returned from death. Utsukya, with great eagerness, Aikshanta, began look upon the boys. Trishita Ikshanaha, with full satisfaction. They did not want to turn their eyes from Krishna and the boys. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. When the cowherd man and woman heard about the killing of Bakasura in the forest, they were very much astonished. Upon seeing Krishna and hearing the story, they received Krishna very eagerly, thinking that Krishna and the other boys had returned from the mouth of death. Thus they look upon Krishna and the boys with silent eyes, not wanting to turn their eyes aside now that the boys were safe. Purport. Because of intense love for Krishna, the cowherd man and woman simply remained silent, thinking of how Krishna and the boys had been saved. The cowherd man and woman looked upon Krishna and the boys and did not desire to turn their eyes aside. Omajnana timirandasya gyananjana shalakaya chakshur ummilitam yena tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Romapada Swami iti namine. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirveshesha Shunyavadi Pashatyadi Satarine. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyasha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha. So we hear in the previous verses that after Krishna killing the demon, the cowherd boys they started to, in poetry form, to recite very loudly the pastimes of Krishna, the activities of Krishna of killing these demons. And so very jubilantly they marched towards Vrindavan, to the village of Vrindavan, just singing very, very loudly. And when the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the elders, the cowherd men and the cowherd ladies, they heard about these pastimes of Krishna, they were completely astonished. It is explained here. We have to remember that after the killing, after the Damodar pastime, on the advice of Upananda, Nanda Maharaj and the whole and all the cowherd men, they decided they will move from Gokula to Vrindavan, looking for a safer place, because they were aware that there were all these demons that were coming, and they were trying to kill Krishna and Balaram. They heard that from Vasudev. Vasudev told Nanda Maharaj, be careful that this demoniac Kamsa there may be some difficulties. There's danger. So please go back to your residence and look after Krishna and Balaram. And indeed, when Nanda Maharaj came back from Mathura to Gokula, then he encountered this huge dead body of Putana. And then soon after, he heard the different things. It was this, Krishna has already been in danger with the cart that completely fell apart, and they could understand there was some demoniac influence or some demon also that was attempted to kill Krishna, putting Krishna in danger. And then this Putana, and then came the whirlwind demon Trinivarta, and then there is this difficulty with these two huge trees that fell and right where the children were, and and Krishna was in between the two trees. So they were very grateful that the children, Krishna and Balaram, were always protected. So they were grateful to Lord Vishnu for protecting Krishna and Balaram. They could not understand, we heard many times, how the inhabitants of Vrindavan cannot understand Krishna's position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They only see Krishna as their object of love. But not as the personality of Godhead. So they have this great, great, great loving attachment to Krishna. Actually, Krishna, it is explained as is dear than their own life. So with all these different dangers, they were concerned, and they came together and followed the advice of Upananda, the elder brother of Nanda Maharaj, who was very wise and pure, and he recommended, let's go to Vrindavan. It should be safer there. So they're already concerned of all these dangers that are there. And they're very attached to Krishna and to Balaram. So when they hear of these dangers, or again, there's these demons, so one after the other, first this is this Vatsasura, and then now this Bakasura. Bakasura was the brother of Putana. So he also was very revengeful and wanted to kill Krishna in this way. To revenge also his sister. He was a close associate of Kamsa too, both of them. So hearing the situation, then they became quite astonished. Again, it's a bit bewildering, but in one sense, they were always, they're confident that Krishna will be protected by Lord Vishnu, and the children will be protected by Lord Vishnu. And they always pray like that. So they have the confidence of Lord Vishnu's protection. And they were quite struck by the great feelings of affection and love and devotion that they have for Krishna, to the point that they experience all different emotions that are stirred by this pastance of Krishna. Even from a mundane perspective, these all different emotions that are there in the material condition, we also experience. But in the material condition, we go to these roller coasters of happiness and distress. And while experiencing these different emotions, we become more and more entangled in the struggle for existence in this material world. In the spiritual world, the inhabitants of Vrindavan experience the same emotions, but those emotions simply increase the feelings of ecstasy and happiness in connection with Krishna. So, because of intense attachment, the idea that Krishna may be gone or killed is just too much. It's almost that they lose their life. The narration goes also when Bakasura swallowed Krishna, the cowherd boys, even Balaram also. Balaram always knows. But Lord Balaram also, it is explained that it's like their life had left them. But then when they saw that Krishna was out and perfectly well, then they regained their life. And they became very ecstatic when they saw Krishna killing the demon by bifurcating him and split him in two. So the idea of being without Krishna, that something happens with Krishna that will take him away, is too much. It's too much for the devotees in Vrindavan. they become stunned simply by thinking this. And when they hear this narration of these dangers that Krishna is that Krishna and Balarama and the boys have to go through with these demons attacking, they're astonished. And at the same time, when they see them that actually they were protected, they're relieved. But these feelings of that they don't want Krishna to be outside their sight. The situation of just imagining Krishna being away from their side is impossible to bear. We hear that among all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, these loving emotions finds the zenith or the highest manifestation in the form of Srimati Radharani. So she experienced something that is unique to her. The emotion is described as Mahabhava, or the supreme emotions or feelings of devotion. It's only experienced by her and by Lord Chaitanya. It's not possible from other personalities. And these same feelings of thinking, just thinking that Krishna may be away, the idea that Krishna may be away is impossible to bear. And we have the pastime of the Prem Sarovar, in which is this pond or this lake that is formed by the tears of Srimati Radharani, the combined tears of Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna. It's a very sacred place, very, very beautiful. And Srila Sanatana Goswami used to have his Bhajan Kutir there. And it's close to Nandagram, or in between Nandagram and Varshana. So the story goes that Krishna is sitting with Srimati Radharani next to each other, having their loving pastimes. And then, as they sitting there, a bumblebee just attracted by the beauty and the fragrance of Srimati Radharani, just starting to buzz around her. And the bee was so enthusiastic that it was a little, Srimati Radharani became a little scared. Sometimes you see was, those bees that come at you and they buzz, buzz, and then you become a little like trying to shoot the thing away. So Krishna noticed that Srimati Radharani was being disturbed a little bit by the bumblebee. So he called from Madhu Mangal to take care of this problem, to help. So Madhu Mangal comes and he was able to chase the bumblebee away. And he comes and tells Krishna and Srimati Radharani that the bumblebees have gone. So the name that he used for bumblebee is Madhu. Madhu means sweet or honey. So Madhu is a name for a bumblebee. But Madhu also is a name for Krishna. Madhu Sudana or Madhu. And then when Madhu Mangala say, Madhu is gone, Madhu is gone. Then Srimati Radharani, just to hear that Madhu is gone, just to hear those words, Madhu is gone, then she became petrified and almost lost the life air and just started to cry uncontrollable. And Krishna was very surprised. And he asked her, what's wrong? What has happened? And eventually Srimati Radharani was able to say that Madhu is gone. That what is she gonna do? She's gonna do. And Krishna is saying, I'm not gone, I'm here. I'm sitting next to you. But it was too much just to think that Madhu will be gone, or Madhu was gone. The idea that Madhu was gone, that Krishna was gone from her, it was too much to bear. And when Krishna realized how deep the love of Srimati Radharani is from him, that even just the idea that he's gone was just too much to bear, and she was just crying and crying and crying. Krishna also starting to cry, and the combined tears of them formed this sacred lake that you can only imagine. That is the combined love, the deep love that is there for from Srimati Radharani to Krishna, and from Krishna to Srimati Radharani. And that is that Prem Sarovar, very sacred place. So the idea that this feeling that you may be separated from Krishna is very difficult for the devotee. It's the greatest fear, and therefore they couldn't take their eyes away from Krishna. And what to speak when actually Krishna is away from them. So we have what is called this vipralamba bhava, or this vipralamba, or this love in separation, which is considered the most intense form of loving devotional ecstasy. The type of intense love that arises out of the separation from Krishna is considered in the philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnavism as the highest, the most intense one. And that's what Lord Chaitanya demonstrated, or displayed rather, during his pastimes in Jagannath Puri. That intense separation, which is the type of separation that Srimati Radharani also experienced when Krishna left for Mathura and then eventually for Dwarka. So the emotions that arises out of that separation, the attachment is very, very heightened, and so this is the greatness and the position of the devotees in Vrindavan. And by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we've been given the possibility of become followers and servants of those devotees in Vrindavan. Gopi Bhartur Kama Gopi Bhartur Kama Pada Kamalayor Dasa Dasa Anudasa. We become the servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis and the gopas inhabitants of Vrindavan. So we follow in the footsteps and we serve them like that. We assist them. I stop here. Any comments or questions? Yes, Sargent. And they want to get the microphone.
The fact that Madhumanga brought about distress in Srimati Radharani, one could say that if one's serving, then one wouldn't want to put her in distress. So is that to be understood from the point of view of the distress being so intertwined with ecstasy?
Right. So in reality there's no distress, it's just all different experiences of the loving ecstasy that I have, or the prema, or that mahabhava that she is, that is her energy. So these things are just awakened, and each one is a different flavor and a different varieties of her devotion and love for Krishna. Srimati Radharani, when she becomes angry or she becomes distressed, or these are all different wonderful pastimes that Krishna enjoys very much. And when she sees Krishna's happy, then she becomes happy. So it's transcendental. That's the thing for us that is very difficult to understand, how distress can be, and that, especially that type of distress can bring the highest. I mean, the descriptions of the distress of the devotees when they're in separation from Krishna it breaks your heart. Like the cowherd boy that is still waiting for Krishna right there in Govardhan, at the tail of Govardhan. Sridham is also still waiting for finally Lord Chaitanya came and embraced him. I came back. So the descriptions when Uddhava came to Vrindavan and saw the condition of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda and everybody, it breaks your heart, the narrations. But the fact is that they were in the most intense connection with Krishna in the ecstasy of the relationship. So we can figure it out. That's beyond our capacity to understand or experience. Because when we experience distress, it's distress and it's miserable, it's hell. There's no thing. I guess masochists maybe experience some pleasure by distress, but it's just madness. So yeah. Praktak Prabhu.
like Krishna's most intimate associates, like in Vrindavan, they love Krishna so much like that. Do they have any special feelings for Lord Vishnu?
Yeah, their worship Lord Vishnu is the worship of a deity. So it is explained that they constantly worship Lord Narayan and sort of depend on Lord Narayan for their protection. So they pray to Lord Narayan to protect Krishna and Balaram, and they see that the only reason Krishna and Balaram are always safe is because Lord Narayan is protecting them. Although they hear from Garga Muni that Krishna is Lord Narayan, that they're equal. So, but they can't compute the whole thing. They just, sometimes they have doubts, you know, they say, well, maybe he is like Narayan. No, it cannot be. You know, so they don't connect.
So with Lord Narayan, it's more like awe and reverence type of thing.
Yeah. Right.
But the highest intimacy is with Krishna.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Garantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.